Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to GPVWC. We are here for Formula Sprint 2, and we're at the wonderful Suzuka International Racing Course. 5.807 kilometres, the only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar, and well into the final leg of the season now. Japan, Mexico, and Brazil are the 3 rounds ahead of us. It's Jack Mayer leading the championship by 27 points from Luke Mitchell at the moment. Luke Mitchell himself only with 1 point to Ruven Machete behind, so all to play for. Still, it's probably this round that's one of the most important in the context of this championship race. I'm Tom Dillon. Alongside me this evening, as ever, is Menno Klont. And Menno, what are we expecting from today's race?
Well, I think close driving like always on this beautiful circuit, the figure of 8 circuit, like you said. And yeah, I think it will be very, very close. But this is a very, very tricky circuit. And we will see, we'll see how the qualify will fold out and who starts where. But yeah, something is really on the line there, because yeah, we're getting to the closing stage of the championship, and every point now is so important. Like as ever, but yeah, you now want to survive, and if you have a bit of a lead in the championship, yeah, you don't want to throw it away here now, not when you're this close. So yeah, we shall see how it will go today. So just can't wait to see who's starting where.
Absolutely, and on board right now with Ruven Machete, one of those contenders in the championship, heading down into the hairpin. Purple sector 1, though I believe he is the first one to really set a sector 1 time. Luke Mitchell actually goes purple straight after Ruven Machete, but still trying to put down a banker at the moment. Heading round up to Boom Curve now through sector 2 of this circuit. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the figure of 8 is not something you particularly notice as you're driving around here, but it is an interesting quirk of this circuit. Really on edge through Spoon. His Ruven Machete opens up the car again up to 130R. And what sort of challenge does this particular track pose, Menno?
Yeah, well, this circuit has so much difficult corners. Like now you've got the 130R, which is actually, I think the car generates quite a bit of downforce, so you can more or less take it flat. But it's still a very interesting full throttle corner and a very fast corner. So yeah, this track has got quite a few nice and iconic corners. And actually, let's see where Ruven comes out to. A 147.5, directly beaten by Luke Mitchell. Now everybody is actually putting in the lap times. Let's see where they come out.
So everyone, flurry of lap times onto the board. 11 people setting a lap at the moment. Cypher goes into 6th position, but looking at him as he crosses the line. Here's Craig Patterson rounding the final couple of corners here at the chicane. Opens once again through this final corner, actually opts to come into the pits, does Craig Patterson. What can Tozano do for Valence? Only goes 16th and last, 3.1 seconds off of the pace. Eric Moynier was purple in Sector 1, Menno, but he's made a little bit of a mistake through Spoon, perhaps having to throw his towel into the ring on this lap.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get a 100% clean lap in. It's just, yeah, you can always just have a little bit of oversteer or understeer in some corners, and then you just get a bit of a problem at some corners. But overall, I think, yeah, some people will get very close to a very decent lap.
Jack Nicholls really on the edge through Spoon, just about manages to hold on to that King's Racing car that was always stepping out and away from him, now heading down into 130 up. It's actually been invalidated this lap. I'm hearing it in my ear. No, never mind, I'm also hearing in my ear. So Jack Nicholls still going along here on this lap, 8 tenths per second off of the pole position lap time at the moment. Heads through the final chicane. You can see how much curb he's having to take through there just to avoid the bump on the right hand side here. He's going to well, it's not really pronounced on this version of the circuit. Nicholls crosses the line, goes into 9th position. Tuo Marlet, his long-time sort of rival in this series so far this year, able to go 8th, just ahead of Nicholls. Panasenko just in between the two of them. Awkward silence as either something's happened to Menno, but anyway, we continue on in this qualifying session here at in Formula Sprint 2. It is Luke Mitchell on pole position at the moment. We see Tozano crossing the line, continuing his relative struggles throughout this qualifying session, down in 19th position. Here's Scott Morris. What can he do as he starts his qualifying lap? 8 minutes to go in the session, so plenty of time to get a lap time in. You can see the car sparking underneath Scott as he heads through turn 1. Very awkward corner, then through the S's. Looks so much fun in these cars. I'm not too sure if we have Menno back, but I'm not sure if you've done any laps.
I'm back. I'm not sure what happened there. I was just there, but you didn't hear me. So yeah, I said the recent form of Alex Liu is impressive. Already P2 again. So let's see what he and Rowan GP can do. Actually, I actually see some driver already going for the second run and actually improving. Lloyd Meunier is pretty fast. Luca Tizzaro is putting in a good lap time. Toby Davis is on a flyer. Actually, we now see him here. Where can he jump to? He's in the King's Racing car. It looks pretty fast through the 130R, and then you actually see these sparks coming from underneath the car. So where can Toby Davis go? Realistically, he should be aiming for a top 10, but how and where will he get out? He is now P9, so I think a very decent lap time, but yeah, he needs to find at least half a second more if he really wants to challenge the big boys, at least in this session.
Here's Scott Morris in the number 13 car, still on that lap. He's 3 seconds off though, so I think he's certainly made a mistake on this occasion. Won't be going anywhere near a competitive lap time in that number 13. Morris clearly making a mistake of some description. Craig Patterson might be a little bit more competitive as he rounds the final corner himself, or the final couple of corners here at Suzuka. Really, the chicane heading into the swooping right-handed flat out, really a kink in many ways. What can Patterson do? It's going to be 11th position, not the most horrendous of lap times from his perspective. The gap at the top of the standings, by the way, 300ths of a second, but crucially it's Luke Mitchell who is that championship leader by 27 points on pole position.
Yes, and let's see who is fast at the moment. We're now seeing Steven Lexo, he's fast. Also Justin van der Smissen jumps to P11, so that's P11. Pretty good lap for Justin. Let's see who else is fast. Loic Meunier is on a better improvement of a lap. He jumps to P5, so very good lap from Loic Meunier. Tom Ely is doing a better sector 1. We now see Steven with also a better sector 2, so I think he could potentially jump maybe a few places up, or at least improve on his lap time. Yeah, I think he can jump into P3, but closer than others. Actually jumps to P1, and that he all does that because his third sector is actually purple, so a very good last sector. And Steven Lexo now on pole position, but now it already changes because Luke Mitchell jumps to pole position, provisional pole position. Very, very close indeed. Let's see who is improving. It's Florian Haase and Tommy Koivunen who are now putting in the green sector times, and I think they will both improve.
Well, let's have a look as Roy Siffert across the line. So he's 8th position at the moment. Here's Tommy Kuvien. He's 1.6 seconds off in sector 2. This isn't going to be the greatest lap from Kuvien. However, it might be one that propels him into the top 15 at least. It's going to be right on the bubble though. Kuvien comes up to the line. It's not going to be impressive at all, actually, into the 50s. And I'm afraid to say 23rd position for that Scuderia Cap clay car. Here's Florian Hasse. He's able to improve. 48.3 goes into 11th position. Still keeping an eye on the top of those standings. Luke Mitchell leading the way at the moment by a 10th of a second. He overtook from Steven Lexo just a few moments ago. Here's Massimiliano Riboli, the teammate of Luke Mitchell, vying for that team standings in this FS2 championship at the moment. Currently 4 points off of Red Ven Racing are the Alpha Sierra squad. They are actually one of the only teams in this grid to only run with 2 drivers throughout the entire season. In fact, I can say with confidence they're the only team who have ran with the same 2 drivers all season long. Can Massimiliano Riboli take himself up to a position similar to his teammate and start to chase down that gap in that championship standings? As I said, it is only 4 points, which isn't the greatest in a team's championship battle, but it all starts with Riboli's individual performance. Here he stays 7th at the moment and on in the race at least for a decent haul of points. But do you think as we head towards the end of this qualifying session, Menno, do you think Alpha Sierra have got any chance of that championship?
It will be very, very difficult, but yeah, they have got the individual qualities to be up there. So yeah, I think they have a shot, but yeah, the rivals are pretty good as well. Oh, no, now look at Caitlin Penny, and she jumps from 25 to P18, so a good improvement. And what can Scott Morris do? Actually, big driving over the curves, but he is improving. And where can he jump to? P23. So good improvement for Scott Morris. So now you see with 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go, everybody's actually improving.
Leon Hilleret, 27th at the moment, improving on this particular lap. Is going to go across the chicane for presumably one of the penultimate times potentially in this qualifying session. Probably squeeze another lap or maybe even 2 in. Hilleret goes 23rd, so an improvement, not by a great deal. However, here is Jack Mayer, TOP Esports, 6th position at the moment and leading the championship. And I actually just want to quickly correct a mistake I said a little bit earlier on. I did say that Luke Mitchell was at the top of the championship. I am mistaken there. It is Jack Mayer. I got the two confused. But Mayer not going about leading the championship very well, is he? Almost spun the car there, running up to 130R. Number 8 car trying to get further up that order. You suggest that it's a matter of importance. There's obviously Luke Mitchell not leading the standings. Him going into first position with a 27-point deficit to the car ahead is going to be quite huge heading into this race. Mayer all over the curbs, heading through this final chicane and then sliding even more. He's going to have to go once more, is Jack Mayer, because this lap time as he comes to the line isn't going to be good enough. 147.6 is not an improvement on his own lap time.
No, it was not an improvement, and I think he would have expected to go faster, but unfortunately not on that lap. So, big shame.
Craig Patterson is improving, and again a little bit of a slide from the car. 77 car, Craig Patterson for Deltec Racing Team. It's a 147.0 to beat for all of these drivers at the moment. Stephen Lexo in second, Luke Mitchell in first. I can tell you that Lexo is back out on the track, as is Luke Mitchell, both trying their hand for Mitchell, of course, extending this championship lead for his teammate, or for his rival, I should say, trying to cut it down. The pole position lap time, anyway. That is Patterson across the line, 48.3, a good lap. He jumps up into 13th position.
Yeah, a decent lap from Craig, but I think he wanted more. Well, Justin Van der Smith actually timed it perfectly. He can do another lap, at least he can start one. I'm not sure if he has enough fuel, but he comes through the line. Where does he jump to? P13. And he can do another lap, at least on timing. But who else is fast? Stephen Lexo is fast. He wants that pole position for Team Red Fan. And I think, yeah, he can potentially get pole here. But can Luke Mitchell respond to that? Well, we now have the flag, so everybody who crosses the finish line will, finish their laps.
Let's have a look then as Stephen Lexo heads through the chicane for the final time. He's got to improve by about a tenth of a second if he's going to get this pole position. Coming to the line is Stephen Lexo. He's going to try and he just isn't able to. I think that lap was actually invalidated on the evidence of it not flashing up on the screen.
But we've got Ruven Machede fast in Sector 2, and actually Loic Meunier puts in purple Sector 1, so he is flying as well. So it is not done. Also a pretty decent sector from Luke Mitchell, so still to play for. What can Ruven Machede do? This is now second row. Will he go to the first row? He will go to... No, I think still P4 for Ruven Machede, so second row. What can Luke Mitchell do? Yeah, Luke Mitchell is lightning fast. But we've got others who are fast as well. Luke Mitchell now out of the last corner. How much faster can he go? Can he improve? He had a 147.088 and he doesn't improve. So now we look at Loic Meunier, and he was fast in Sector 1, but he is not fast in Sector 2. So I don't think he will improve. Well, maybe he actually can improve maybe one position and get Ruven Machede here. Can he? And he actually jumps to P4. So well done, Loic. And Ruven now is in P5. What does Seva Panasenko do? He goes to P7. So the man from Israel puts it on P7. So that's very good, very good. And I believe the last one, the line is Johannes Lapid. And he is now P27. P27. I think that is our this is our qualifying session done.
Well, we'll have a look at the results for this Japanese Grand Prix. Luke Mitchell is on pole position, of course, in hunt of that championship lead. Needs 27 points on the sixth place man, Jack Mayer, to take that on this occasion. Stephen Lexo's in second position for Red Van Racing. They've got their own championship battles ahead of them, and that is in the constructors' standings. Alex Laho is in third position. A good run of form for him, continuing with this lap time. Loic Muñoz finishes in 4th position, with Ruben Machete starting 5th. Jack Mayo, of course, in 6th position for TOP Esports. Saber Panasenko, I should say, in 7th position, with Massimiliano Riboli starting in 8th for Alpha Sierra. Mikael Tuomala starts in 9th, with Roy Siffert in 10th. Jack Nichols starts 11th for Kings Racing, with Toby Davies starting 12th for Kings Racing as well. Justin van der Smissen starts 13th, with Craig Patterson in 14th. Florian Hasse starts in 15th. Tom Ely, Josh Down and Luca Gray are 16th through 18th, with Caitlin Penny and Mark McNaughton finishing the top 20. As we head to the final page of results, then it's Mihailo Vivinčuvić in 21st position, with Jorn Dix in 22nd for GPVWC Academy. Maxime Bilou starts in 23rd, Luca Tizano in 24th. Lilian Hilliard starts 25th for servo competition. Scott Morris and Johannes Lepitz are the two RNG cars. Oh, sorry, the RNG and the VMS Sun Edits in 26th and 27th. Tommy Kuvian starts 28th, and apparently Tommy Kuvian also starts behind Tommy Kuvian, but we'll ignore that slight graphical issue. We're got the warm-up session ahead of us now, so we're going to go to a break throughout the 10 minutes, and I guess we'll see you in about 10 minutes time here on the YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, to GPVWC. We've got about 38 seconds left in the warm-up session here, ahead of the first race of this Japanese Grand Prix evening. It should be a wonderful race indeed. We're expecting as much as we head into the back end of this season. It is Luke Mitchell on pole position. It should be one of those races that is just so hotly contested with the DRS down that long pitch straight. I'm Dillon once again. Alongside me is Menno Klont. And Menno, any predictions ahead of this race?
I think it will be very intense battling. I think the pole position man not necessarily will win the race. I think it will be very, very close. Very close.
And, well, of course, a reminder that Luke Mitchell is trying to close that 27-point gap ahead to Jack Mayer in those standings. Mayer has just been consistency personified, really. He has got a slightly lower, a slightly higher average finishing position than Luke Mitchell, and that is shown in the standings here. Just absolutely consistent. Only actually the 3 wins for Jack Mayer in the season so far, but just finishing constantly up there in the points. Hasn't really had any major poor rounds. In fact, he's only finished outside of the top 10 on 2 occasions. So he's been absolutely incredibly consistent. I just wonder if we're going to see more of that from him today.
Yeah, well, we're about ready to see what Japan will bring us, and I'm looking forward, like always.
So here is a reminder of the calendar. Japanese Grand Prix is, of course, today. We're about to watch that unfold. Then it's Mexico in 2 weeks' time on the 11th of October before the finale of this season in Brazil. We started all the way back in March or April, I think, is one of the first streams of the year here on GPVWC. And then all of a sudden, just like that click of a fingers, and we're towards the end of this season. I think this championship is bubbling up quite nicely, so that Brazilian Grand Prix on the 25th should be very entertaining indeed.
Yeah, that's what I expect. A very entertaining race. Very entertaining race.
Well, we're just waiting for the cars to all finish their laps, and that's all to be completed. And we'll get into the race here and the formation lap. It's a particularly long lap here, 5.8 kilometers, and in terms of the time taken to complete it, about 150s I would suspect we're going to be seeing in the race pace.
Yeah, Tom, one thing, the circuit, it always, when I see the circuit, looks like a snake who's about to eat something. Do you see the same in it, or is that me? Because always when I see the track, it reminds me of a snake with his mouth wide open. Maybe you don't see it, but I just wanted to say that that I'm actually seeing that in the layout of Suzuka, the beautiful track here.
No, it's not something that strikes me. It has to be said. But anyway, we continue on. Just everyone gridding up now, getting ready to go for this race. In the time between sessions, we've had Lucas Dillon join us as the 29th car on the grid for servo competition, racing in the number 22. Will be interesting to see what he can do from the back of the grid. But, well, waiting to get this formation lap underway. 29 cars are going to start it. I don't believe Dillon will have to start from the pit lane. I think they'll let him up to the back of the grid, even though he didn't technically qualify.
Yeah, I've heard that he will start from pits, and I think that might be a good idea from him, because he otherwise will just start last. So I think he was just will look into that and just join the race. From the back, but he will move up higher, I think. So yeah, let's see what he can do with progress. Well, I believe he already have got one car stalled. I'm actually looking who that is, and I think it was Luca Gray. He's driving again. So let's look at the starting positions for this race. The starting order is as follows. There we have it. It's Luke Mitchell on pole position with Steven Laxo in second position, Alex Lehoux in P3, and the other Rowan GP car of Loic Meunier in P4. Then in P5 we've got Ruven Mercedes with Jack Mayer, our championship leader, in P6, Seva Panasenko in P7 and Massimiliano Riboli in P8. Mikael Tomal in P9 with Roy Seifert, a very strong P10. Jack Nichols in P11 and Toby Davis, his teammate for today, in P12. And P13 is there for Justin van der Smissen. He should be very happy with that, with Craig Patterson in P14, Florian Haase, a good P15, and Tom Ely in P16. P17 there is for Josh Downard with Luca Gray in P18, Caitlin Penny in P19, and Mark McNaughton, who makes his debut, I believe, in P20. Mihailo Vitincevic in P21st, and 22nd position is for John Dix, with Maxime Dillon in P23 and Luca Tisano in P24. Then in P25 we got Lilian Hilliard with Scott Morris in P26, Johannes Lepid in P27, making his debut in the Formula Sprint 2 Championship. And then in P28 we have, let me look, because this is Tommy Koivunen, and in P29, starting from the pits, is Lucas Thailand. So that's our grid for today, and at least for this race. So Tom, what do you predict? What will we see? Will we see drama? Who will win it? What's your podium?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. You can see on the left-hand side there, Lucas Thailand getting ready to start from the back of the pit lane. We're going to let everyone grid up now and get to the start of this race.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we will have a very good one.
Yes, it should definitely be an entertaining race as we on board with Kvyat. We'll be starting at the back, and I'm expecting an electric turn one, just trying to keep out of trouble everyone. But once Kvyat gets to the back of this grid, we're going to see the lights here at Suzuka. It's crucial that Luke Mitchell gets a good start here on board with the Brit, trying to just get that gap back in the championship. Here we go, waiting for the lights. We go to 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, and it is lights out and away we go. It's a bit of a treacherous start from Luke Mitchell on the right hand side, but he gets away well enough. Everyone else trying to file back in as they head down into turn one. Mitchell just able to hold off second place there as he heads through turn one, turn two, down into the S's. No one really tripping over each other just yet. A few, someone onto the grass actually there. I think that could have been Massimiliano Rivoli. Here's one of the red vent cars. It's Ruben Machete trying to make a move on Jack Mayer, and there's someone at the back. I think it's Tisano who's had a spin, but we're still looking at Ruben Machete as he's trying to get around. There's Tisano into the barrier. Not the ideal start for him. He'll see Thailand now go by, and he's out of the race.
Yeah, that's the first sector here in Suzuka. It's always chaos, but now we go to the Degner turns. Lilian Hilliard went well wide and needed to go into the gravel, but he's still driving. And actually Lucas Thailand, his teammate, is now overtaking. Oh, well, we have got a slight hit from Lucas Thailand on the back of Johannes Lepid. But everybody's still driving, apart from Luca Tisano, who we sadly lost in the first sector. So yeah, it's always a very difficult first sector here in Suzuka, and it always gets at least one victim, and for now it was Luca Tisano. But Luke Mitchell is leading, now going to the 130R. Stephen Laxo is quite close, and Alex Lehoux is actually already quite a bit behind, and Loic Meunier is actually pushing him. Is he then the faster own GP car? For now, I am not sure if he can pass. Jack Mayer was starting in P6, now he's in P5. Ruben Machete lost that position. But now we're going to the start-finish straight, and it is still Luke Mitchell leading. Stephen Laxo is not close enough, but he looks pretty fast at this moment in time. While Jack Mayer is actually battling for P4 with Loic Meunier, but can't make it stick, so still P5 for Jack Mayer. See, Justin Van der Smith had a good start, already 2 places up now in P11. Let's see who is the biggest loser from the start phase. I think everybody more or less stayed the same, or maximum 1 or 2 places.
As well, continuing on in this race, we see Jack Mayer, championship leader, trying to get into 4th position. Already made up that 1 position on Ruben Machete at the start there. He's now got Loic Meunier in his sights just ahead. I think it's the 2 of the... I'm trying to figure out what... The Road GP cars of Lehoux and Meunier really running in tandem quite nicely. Here's the replay, presumably, of what happened to Tisano down into the S's, and it looks like he just got it all crossed up by himself straight into the wall, and I'm afraid to say that will end your day, and I presume that has just got him all into a bit of a
oh
through
Maxim Beaulieu, crash from Maxim Beaulieu, and it was quite a hard crash, and he lost his front and rear wing. Oh, that's a shame. He tried it around the outside of Mihailo Vincencevic, and there was no room, and yeah, it ends in disaster. So let's see a replay of that. So he went around the outside, or at least that was the plan, but yeah, I just didn't expect it. Mihailo Vincencevic didn't expect that at all, and yeah, Maxime, is the one that gets hurt by it. We've got another crash, and it's Scott Morris who went off as well. Now it's actually going wild now, so Scott Morris is out as well. Well, Johannes Leppert is crabbing now and coming into the pits. So we've got Maxime Beaulieu in the pits, Johannes Leppert in the pits, with Scott Morris out and Luca Tizzano out of the race.
Oh, here's the replay of what's happened to Johannes Leppert for VMS Sun Edits Racing. Looks like he just lost his front wing and then had to trundle back to the pits. Here it is, down into 130. Just got again tapped round. It was a Hamilton Verstappen Copse and just straight into the barrier.
It was a bit difficult because he had the inside, but it looked like he was sliding him a bit to the outside of the 130R, and there was another car and they touched, and yeah, he could just not save it without losing a front wing, which is of course very sad.
And well, on lap 3 of 13 of this race, it's still Luke Mitchell who leads, but Caitlin Penny making a pretty minor mistake, a half spin really for Caitlin, and just round there down into 24th position, the number 53 car. We switch back to Loic Meunier, who all of a sudden with DRS being enabled when they go down the next straight, Meunier going to have a real opportunity to get ahead of his teammate, but also going to come under a lot of pressure from Jack Mayer.
I think we will have a change for the lead soon. I hope we can get an onboard of this Stephen Lexo, because he is really close. He's got quite a good exit, but now DRS will work. And can Stephen Lexo, can he go for the overtake here? Or how will Luke Mitchell defend? Will he defend? Oh no, it's Stephen Lexo who will ease past to take the lead of the FS2 race. So Stephen Lexo now is leading with DRS, but can he drive away from Luke Mitchell? That is the question. Stephen looks really quick, but can he drive away, or will Luke Mitchell be able to stay in DRS lap after lap? We will see it quite soon.
Toby Davies got around the outside of Justin van der Smissen there into 11th position. He's trying to go on a little bit of recovery drive for Kings Racing. They're without Scott Mitchell-Marm this evening. Toby Davies currently the leading of those two cars. Jack Nicholls down in 14th position. Is Toby going to be able to get past one more here? Jack Nicholls is going to try it further at the top of your picture there. Craig Patterson high flying in 13th position. Stephen Lexo does lead, however, as you just saw, and now we're going to have a look at, I believe, one of the front-running cars, as you can see right there. Luke Mitchell right on.
Oh, overtake from Jack Mayer. Jack Mayer with a beautiful overtake on Loic Meunier. Oh, there was not much room, but he made it stick, Jack Mayer, for P4. That was intense. And actually, Loic Meunier had quite a wiggle when he went onto the throttle on the back straight there. But that was an amazing overtake. It takes two great drivers to do this overtake. One that does the move and one that lets him live. And yeah, this was textbook overtaking. Well, I believe we got a yellow flag. And Mark McNaughton, I think, will retire from this race. So Mark McNaughton
for him, but all of a sudden, an opportunity for Luke Mitchell to try and get the DRS, go down the inside into turn 1. It's the Alfa Sierra number 21 going to get this move on Stephen Lexo, who's leading this race. He hasn't had the greatest of luck so far, this Stephen Lexo, but he is able to hold on to this occasion. Loic Meunier can't quite go down the inside of Ruben Machete. I think he's being overtaken there, actually, by Machete. Nicholls, similar story, unable to get past anyone. There's someone going very wide. It's Justin van der Smissen in the Academy car. Nicholls is going to pull alongside van der Smissen onto the grass. Still trying to sneak around the outside. Can't quite do so. He's edged out by Craig Patterson, who stays in 12th position. And that is just a huge moment for van der Smissen, and just able to get back into a sandwich between Patterson and Jack Nicholls. Not as bad as going onto the grass could have ended there for him.
Yeah, it's all very close. Oh, well, we've got a car going off, and who was going off? It's Loic Meunier. And did he lose anything? Yeah, no, yeah, a lot of places, but not a front wing, I believe. So Loic Meunier makes a mistake, and he loses a lot of position, and now hits Craig Patterson. Oh, that's debatable, but yeah. But I think Loic Meunier has got bigger problems because his tires are quite dirty. So a lot of positions lost for Loic Meunier. But yeah, he is quick, but yeah. You can be quick, but if you make the mistake, even if it's a little mistake, then of course, yeah, you will not be scoring the top end of the points. So very, very interesting.
Disappointment for Loic Meunier, who in the number 37 car was going along so nicely. Looked like a 3-4 actually for Rowan GP, but just unable to do so. There's a supplementary incident where he just went down the inside and spun up the rears, unable to find a way to squeeze
Luke
through
Mitchell
there.
is quite close.
Luke Mitchell is going to try and make a move on Stephen Lexo down into turn 1. Again, 4/10 of a second is the gap, and again he's just going to be a little bit too far back.
Yes, and let's be honest, who joins the party? Well, we've got another crash. Caitlin Penny spun and just down it crashed. Oh, we've got another spinner. It's Justin van der Smissen, I think. And Justin van der Smissen lost his front winger, so now it's going off. So Justin van der Smissen needs to pit. He lost his front wing, and just Downard lost, yeah, both of his wings. So that's a front and a rear minus, and yeah, not sure.
It's awkward. It was with Meunier, wasn't it? Oh, and he just got all crossed up straight into the barrier. A bit of a tank slapper sort of crash, and unfortunately going to be his at least race 1 over. Have to come back in race 2, but starting from the rear of the field. Here was what happened to Meunier. He got actually tapped by one of the King's Racing cars, and then Downer just unable to really do much and just spun around, hit the wall twice, and lost both of his wings. Disappointment for him, but as we switch back to live pictures, oh, there's Jack Nicholls actually being squeezed all onto the curb by Van der Smissen, I think that is, in the Academy car, just able to get through there in the end. Jack Nicholls, a bit of a bump and run, but not really him doing the bumping there. It was Van der Smissen bumping himself. Alex Lahoe all of a sudden has a chance to attack Luke Mitchell if he can just get close enough down into turn 1. This is going to be a DRS train though, so we're going to see how this ends out as they head back now onto this pit straight. Is Alex Lahoe going to be able to find a way through? Not with a slide like that, he's not. Just not able to get the exit, but now down into turn 1. He's still a little bit too far back, you'd suggest. Alex Lahoe here, just 5/10 of a second, has to stay behind into turn 1. The overtakes on lap 7 of 13 of this race not coming as easily as you would like. Here's Thylin trying to go into 17th position, into 16th position I should say, tries to sneak down the inside, looking to take 2 at once here. Lucas Thylin gets into 16th immediately, now down into turn 1, going to try and get 15th as well. Sneak into reverse grid contention from the pit lane already in this race. Down the inside goes Lucas Thylin. Can he get the overspeed? He just about can. Edges out into turn 1, 15th position for the number 22.
Yeah, very good move from Lucas, who's now in the points. Loic Meunier now in 16th, Florian Haas in P17, and Jorn Dix now in P18. They're all fighting for the points. So let's see. Justin van der Smissen and Josh Downard are both now into the pits. Stephen Lexo is still leading. Luke Mitchell is quite close, and Alex Lou is even closer to Luke than Luke is to Stephen. So the top 3 is pretty fast, and Jack Mayer is just a little bit behind, and he's taking Ruben Machado with him. Mika Tamala, quite silent this race, but he's in P6, so yeah, he does his job, he does his thing, and he takes Massimiliano Riboli with him. And Seva Pancakes in P8, with Toby Davis in P9, and Rose Seivert, a very good P10.
Well, here's Luke Mitchell coming under increasing pressure from Lahoe. Just shows his nose there. Does the Rowan GP driver, and it works. The pressure works superbly from Alex Lahoe. He looks for the switchback on Luke Mitchell. Gets the switchback on Luke Mitchell. Now has the outside line. He's going to get the DRS as well. Is that toe from Stephen Lexo going to help him? Stephen Lexo actually moves to give Luke Mitchell a little bit of toe, but Alex Lahoe goes through into second position. Mitchell back down the inside. Can't quite find the space to make the move. That was superb from Alex Lahoe. Just showed his nose, was able to upset Luke Mitchell ever so slightly. off of the line, locks up, goes straight on. Here's Luca Thylin trying to make a move into turn 1. He's going to try and make the move on Loic Moynier. Here he goes in that number 22, back into 15th position is the goal here for Luca Thylin for servo competition. He can't quite go down the inside. He's going to get sent down the inside though and just holds on to that 16th position.
Yeah, very, very good racing. And actually, Stephen Lexo got helped massively by Alex Lahoud attacking Luke Mitchell. So Stephen actually now has got a bit of a breathing space. But Alex is so fast that I think he will be in the DRS of Stephen. So Alex is the man on the move. And I think he will take Luke with him so that it still will be a three-way battle. But Stephen Lexo now needs to push for what he's worth. Because if Stephen gets Alex out of DRS, then yeah, it will be on there. Well, Stephen made a bit of a mistake there, went a bit on the curb there, but Alex is pushing really hard as well. We will see if Alex will have DRS, because that will be, I think, an easy 1 or 2 tenth gain for the next lap. Let's see. Very good race from Roy Seivert now in P10. He does a very decent job, and Seva Panasenko in P8 as well.
Laho now chasing after the lead of the race, though, isn't he? He's going to have DRS on this occasion. He'll be too far back, but technically subbing in for Jakub Kalpasic, who we've only seen once this season. So in the permanent seat there, just unable to get that halo changed. Alex Laho really suddenly chasing after Stephen Lexo, might be on for his first race win. Massimiliano Rivoli down the inside, trying to go on Mikhail Tuomala, gets it down the inside. And that is huge as well for the team's championship. Ruben Machete in 5th position. Now Massimiliano Rivoli can try and put some pressure there. Luca Thylin has fallen back down into 17th position, but he's going to try and get himself back up into that 15th position. They look like they might be looking to go 3 wide down into turn 1. One of the academy guards are involved as well. Round the outside goes Thylin on 2 of them at the same time. He tries it, and oh my word, he can't quite find the move. And 17th position, he stays. It was John Dix in 16th, who was trying to go for 16th.
What a move from John Dix there, from P18 to P16. What an amazing move, and actually made it stick, because there is a lot of risk when you go 3 wide. Then you need to hope that the other 2 are actually giving you room, and that's actually what happened. So very smart driving from Thylin, a very good move from John Dix, and Florian Haase isn't out of it. He isn't out of this battle, so a quite good battle for no points at the moment. So that's a bit sad, but it's an amazing battle at the moment.
Trying to get himself into that reverse grid contention, isn't he? Someone who's trying to get himself what would be a very memorable race win indeed. Alex Laho he's trying to get ahead of Stephen Lexo, isn't he? He might have the opportunity on this lap. Certainly we'll be looking at this by the end of the race. Looking at Alex Laho, he actually has got a win this season. That's my mistake. I can't believe I missed Alex Laho's first win in Singapore. I apologise to Alex for that. But down into turn 1, he's going to try and make it 2 wins in 2 race ones here. Singapore and, of course, Japan. He's just got faster as this season has gone on. Alex Laho, Mikhail Tuomala to the outside of Rivoli, tries the counter-attack. Can't quite find the room to make that move. It's one of those circuits that's so difficult to pass on, but it's just possible. Oh, is that Thylin across the grass? No, it wasn't Haas. It was Haas, yes, indeed. But Alex Laho keeping a keen eye on him. I think he's got the pace to win this race. Dix to the inside on Thylin. Looks for that 16th position. Looks like he's going to get that 16th position. A lovely looking move down into turn 1. He's made a mess of it. And oh, dear.
So I want to tell you why that happened. So the car has got quite a bit of grip, but when you go into a corner slightly too fast, you have so much risk sliding, and then you have that. And once you start sliding, it will. You need to lift your foot off the throttle to catch it. So yeah, that costed John quite a bit of time. So he is back in P17, but Lucas is not far away, so maybe he can battle again, and we shall see if he can manage to.
The question of the day as we go back to live pictures here for the last couple of laps of this race. 3 laps at the line for Alex Laho to try and get the job done. Stephen Lexo looking to really return to form despite his best efforts. He's had such torrid luck and hasn't won
Alex is
since
close.
Austria.
Alex
is
very
close, isn't he? Down into turn 1 is going to be his opportunity, but as they get through that second phase of that corner, he just loses a little bit of speed. However, he's gaining is Alex Lahoe. He's going to try it down into turn 1. He gets all of the slipstream, perhaps all of the straight line speed as well. Looks to the outside, just can't quite pull alongside into the corner. However, he's making important inroads at the moment on Stephen Lexo, as it has been for so many laps. Tuo Marler back around the outside. They almost make contact. Rivoli is able to make it. Someone does spin in the background. Pasenko with a huge save. Toby Davies gets through on him up into 8th position, but more crucially, Massimiliano Rivoli able to, by the skin of his teeth, hold on to Michael Tuo Marler.
Oh, what a couple of moves we saw. But that was a warning shot from Alex Lahoe. He wants this win, and he is the man on the move. But Stephen seems to have everything under control so far. If Stephen can manage to have a good run out of the final corner, it will be very difficult for Alex. But Alex, of course, has got the advantage of the DRS. So I think it's all to play for still, but Alex seems to be on the move. What can Stephen do about this? And Luke Mitchell isn't out of it, and Jack Mayer is actually closer than he was like 3-4 laps ago. So Jack Mayer is just doing a normal race, but yeah, he's not going slower, I think, than all the others.
Alex Lahoe closer on this occasion. You feel that he has been in so many laps before. Look at the straight line speed he's carrying in that number 88 car through the chicane. It's crucial to get a good exit out of here. On the brakes, nice and late, able to just capitalise on a bit of a mistake from Lexo, but squarely on the exit. Can Lahoe just about pull alongside? Here he goes, he's going to try it. 0.3 of a second is the gap. DRS wide open. Stephen Lexo all the way to the inside. Penultimate lap of this race. Lahoe through the outside. He's going to try and make the move around the outside. Goes Alex Lahoe for Rowan GP. Can't quite find the pace and the grip, but he's going to look for the switchback. Lexo just holds firm.
Yes, but such smart drive for Stephen Lexo. He just knew he needed to send Alex the long way, and he just made his stick, and he's still leading. So that's quite a very good thing he did. But he needs to hold on for at least one more lap. So can he do this once more? And how's the tire life? Alex is pushing really hard, even in the second sector. Oh, he is so fast. But Steven still has got the lead, and Steven knows how to work this pressure. He knows this, and let's see how close they really are, because Alex is really close already here. Will he go it from here? I think he's got quite a decent slipstream. Can he do it at Spoon? I think he will go for it, but Steven will know it. No, he can't do it here. Can't do it here. And Luke Mitchell is actually just following. He is not far away. Luke Mitchell is still in this with one lap to go. And Jack Mayer is actually pretty close as well. Ruven Machede is actually not in the hunt for the win. He actually lost quite a bit of time to Jack Mayer, so that's sad to see. And Mikael Tumala is still fighting with Riboli.
Here he goes around the outside. Alex Lahoe, just smart, thinks against it, is going to wait for the DRS. This is his last opportunity to get what, I apologise, is his third win of the season. Only his second feature race, as it was. So it'll be his joint highest haul of points in the season. As he tries to go down into turn 1. Here we go. Stephen Lexo with the inside down into turn 1. Lahoe with all of the speed, however, will probably squeeze Lexo as much as he can. Around the outside he goes. He gets the move and he gets all of it. Lexo is really, really close. Lexo just about able to, unable to hold on to that move. Alex Lahoe through into turn 1 is able to get what surely is going to be his third win of the season. Only his second race 1 win of the season. It will be 2 race 1s in a row for Alex Lahoe. Stephen Lexo, though, just on the inside as we see the move again. He was on the inside, wasn't he? And then just got tapped.
What a move. What a move. It was a Prost and Senna all over again. What a amazing move. This was just on the maximum they all could. Slight touch, but this is such a tricky corner. It was amazing. And the top 4 is so unbelievably close after 13 laps of racing. Alex Lahoe is now leading. Will he then win it? Steve Lexo is still in P2, still not out of it. Luke Mitchell is looking for P2. and Jack Mayer is still there. He can go to the podium. He might can go to the podium. Look at Luke Mitchell though. He can't pass Steven here. Alex seems to win another race, but look at the whole top 4 within, I think, 1.5 seconds.
Well, we'll have to look at.
Look at Mayer. Mayer has got momentum. Mayer has got quite a bit of momentum for P3. He will look for it around the outside. Luke Mitchell breaks late. Oh, it's also close. They're still there. Alex, who will win it? Steven Lexo P2. Oh, and P3. Who gets P3? It's Jack Mayer who gets P3, but Luke Mitchell in P4. Jack Mayer gets the podium. What a last corner move. And then Luke Mitchell is in P4. And Ruven Mercedes in P5. What a finish. Mika Zamala, he is proud on that P6, I'm sure. Massimiliano Riboli P7, Toby Davis P8, Seva Panasenko in P9, and Roy Seiven in P10, with Jack Nichols in P11, Luca Gray in P12, Tom Ely, a good P13, Loic Meunier finishes in P14, still 2 points, and Lucas Stylin from the back of the grid, from the pits, gets the final points for P15, with no points sadly for John Dix, Florian Haase, but they entertained us with great racing, Florian Haase and John Dix. Tommy Koivunen in P18, Mihailo Vincencevic P19, with Craig Pedersen P20. Well, we now see the overtake from Jack Mayer again. What a move. Caitlin Penny actually finishes in P22, and Justin Van Esmissen hits the wall and will finish P22. What a move.
Well, we'll get the race results up for you to confirm. As just waiting for them to build. And here we go then. There's important moves in the championship as well, which we've got to focus on at this stage in the season. But as we head to the race results, it's Alex Laho who wins the day, his 3rd win of the season. Singapore and Portimao, his only other 2 wins so far. Steven Lexo finishes in 2nd position for Red Racing, a good return to form for him after a couple of races without a podium. Steven Lexo, really not the greatest run of form for him, his first podium since Belgium race 1. Jack Mayer finishes in 3rd position, extending the gap to Luke Mitchell, who finishes in 4th. Ruven Mercedes finishes in 5th, with Tuo Marla in 6th. Massimiliano Riboli in the end in 7th, with Toby Davies in 8th. Seva Panasenko, I should say, in 9th position, with Roy Seifert in 10th. P11 is Jack Nichols for Kings Racing as well. Luca Gray in P12. Tom Ely P13. Loic Meunier P14. Lucas Stylin from the pit lane manages to get a solitary point in P15, with Jorn Dix finishing in P16. Florian Hasse in 17th, with Tommy Gouvian in 18th. Mihailo Vifinčuvić finishes in 19th. Craig Patterson finishes in 20th. One more page of results then. It's Caitlin Penny in 21st, Justin van der Smissen in 22nd, Josh Downer 23rd, Johannes Lepit in 23rd, I believe. There's a slight issue on the timing there because there's 2 21sts. As Maxime Bilou reads as 25th there. Not too sure what's going on. Lillian Hiret, Mark McNaughton, Scott Morris and Tazano, all the DNFs. We're going to go to a quick break here as we wait for the second warm-up session and the second race here from Suzuka. We'll be back in about 5 minutes' time.
Well, can I get
Welcome back, everybody, to Formula Sprint 2. We're here for the second race of the Japanese Grand Prix from the Suzuka International Racing Course. 5.807 kilometers, 13 more laps to come this evening, and we are getting well and truly into our teeth stuck in to this circuit. It's been a very entertaining race 1 and shall be a very entertaining race 2. I am sure that number out of the hat was Loic Meunier. He finished P14, so he starts P1 now. And well, I suggest Menno that given his pace in race 1 without those incidents, now carrying that into race 2, he's got a real chance of winning this one.
Yeah, very true, of course, but yeah, he made a mistake in race 1, so he cannot afford of making another mistake. But yeah, this is a big chance for him to still score big points for the team. And yeah, P14 reverse grid. Yeah, just look for him. Let's see what he can do from here and what the others can do to stop him win the race, possibly.
Well, waiting for the starting grid now as the 29 cars leave the grid for the start of this race. 28, we've lost one throughout, and it looks like Tazano.
That is Lucas. We missed Lucas Silin,
yes,
who actually couldn't do race 2, he told me. So all the other drivers are still there. So the number 15 position who scored 1 point is not there for race 2. But still, he got something out of this round. So hopefully we will see Lucas back next time. So now we shall see the starting order. Tom, you want to do the starting order now?
Loic Meunier is on pole position. Tom Ely starts in second. Luca Gray in third. Jack Nicholls starts fourth for Kings Racing. In fifth position is Roy Siffert. Panisenko starts in sixth position with Toby Davies in seventh. Massimiliano Riboli starts in 8th for Alpha Sierra. In 9th position is Michael Tuomalo. Machete starts 10th with Luke Mitchell in 11th. Jack Mayer starting 12th for TOP Esports. Stephen Lexo starts 13th with race 1 winner Alex Laho in 14th. Jordan Dix in 15th with Florian Hasser in 16th. Tommy Kuvian, Mihailo Vifanchuvik alongside each other in 17th and 18th with Craig Patterson and Justin van der Smithen in 19th and 20th. Josh Downer starts 21st with Caitlin Benny in 22nd. Then it's Johans Leppit in 23rd with Maxime Bilou in 24th. Lillian Hilliard starts in 25th with Mark McNulty in 26th. Scott Morris starts 27th with Luca Tazano rounding out the grid in 28th. And Menno, just going to ask you right now, what are your predictions for the winner of this race?
Yeah, well, I would go for Loic Meunier. The speed he had in race 1, without mistakes, he would have been, well, I think close to top 5, if not top 5. So he's got it all in his own hand. I think he's got a real chance of podium or a win here. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see what will happen. Maybe he makes a mistake again. That's always, of course, the thing. What you want to don't want to see. Well, we got somebody from the pits. I'm not sure if you already said that. Luca Tizano is starting from the pits, and the rest will start from the grid slots. So race 2 with a reverse grid of 14. Who will be on the podium? Will we see new podium drivers on the podium, or will it be other drivers from race 1? We shall see.
Here we go then, as we wait for the lights here for race 2 at Suzuka. 13 more laps ahead of us is Meunier on pole position on the right hand side, and he's going to try and maintain this lead into turn 1 as we go to 5 red lights here. And it's lights out and away we go at Suzuka for the second time this evening. Loic Meunier with a perfect start as they run down into turn 1. It's not the longest of runs, and Loic Meunier able to hold on to that first position at this opportunity. Around the outside is one of the Alpha Sierra cars trying to go. Can't quite find a move on this occasion. Everyone else filtering through quite cleanly at the moment. No one really wanting to make any moves so far. The two Kings Racing cars still staying line of stern, as is all of the further cars throughout the field. I don't think we've had a single moment apart from a spin further back in the field. And who is it, Menno?
I think it was Mihailo Vincencevic, and I think he got hit by somebody or went wide. So he is out of the race, I think, or maybe he's still driving, but he at least lost a front wing. So we will see very, very soon. Let's see what the timing says. The timing says Mihailo Vincencevic is actually out of the race. And we will see it here. Oh, he crashed with Johannes Lepid, I think, and yeah, he lost his front wing there. Yeah, it's very tight there in the first few corners, and yeah, he got a victim of that crash. So that's very sad for Mihailo. But yeah, we're still only at the end of lap 1, and who is on the move? It's Luca Gray, who's still in P3, but Jack Nicholls feels that he can have a decent chance here. Toby Davis already in P6, so the King's racing cars are pretty racy. Let's see, Panasenko in P7, Ribli in P8, and yeah, Mitchell, Lexo, Mayer, and Lehoux are not actually made up that many places. So yeah, you already see it. Tom Leukmanier is checking out.
There goes Mayer down the inside, trying to make a move on, I think, his Ruven Machete. He does make the move at this opportunity. Around the outside, he still goes, trying to hold on here. There's Jack Mayer, got third in the first. Oh, Machete!
Oh, Ruven Machete! That's Ruven Machete! Yeah, he loses it, and this is not good for his championship adventure. And I think he lost the front wing. Let me check. And hopefully we can see it as well. Yeah, Ruven Machete lost his front wing. That is drama for one of the guys who is in the championship. Oh, yeah, lost it on the curb. And there it is. This will be a 0 score, I think, for Ruven Machete this race. Unless there will be a miracle. Oh, this is not what he needed. He needs to pit now. And let's see at the lead. So the current lead from Loic Meunier is 1.1 seconds, but I really think it might be already increasing. So Loic Meunier is checking out. He wants that win. And yeah, Rowan GP already won a race today. Will they then win both races? Will they be moving up that much? Wow, we saw Luca Gray with a huge moment in the 130R, and there is Jack Nicholls. Jack Nicholls goes to P3 for Jack Nicholls, and now it's Roy Seifert who actually wants to pass his teammate for P4. Let's see. Well, we've got yellow in sector 3, and who's that?
Oh, it's Gubian.
Tommy Koivunen, who has a very bad round here in Japan. He will not like Japan. While Ruven Machete pits.
Oh, that's a huge moment. It's Massimiliano Riboli, and that is another huge moment in the team's championship. It's Massimiliano Riboli careering out of the points. He made a spin and it just not working for him. Really, relatively disappointing round from a Massimiliano Riboli perspective. Only a decent finish in race 1 of 7th position, and now in race 2 it looks like he may be slumping to a no points finish at the moment. Kuvian with just that spin off of the curb through the final chicane, and then Massimiliano Riboli down into turn 1, just got tagged around, I think it was, and it certainly was a tag round. He's in 16th position, so there's still a chance with the speed and the skill of Massimiliano Riboli. As you saw Jack Mayer getting involved in an incident as well for his troubles. Riboli, unfortunately, though, is going to have an uphill battle if he wants to get back into the points.
Yes, well, I see a move from Toby Davis on Roy Seifert, and Toby Davis goes to P5, but Roy Seifert isn't sure. Oh, not much room. But Toby Davis makes it stick, but Roy Seifert is not done with Toby Davis. So Roy Seifert will go around the outside of the 130R, but he doesn't have the movement. But Jack Nicholls actually got the movement on Tom Ely for P2. So I think Jack Nicholls wants to brake later than Tom Ely here, and he does so. So Jack Nicholls goes to P2. No, Tom Ely is still there. And Jack Nicholls now in P2. Tom Ely still in P3, but look at Luca Gray. Luca Gray has got a great exit there, and he's got DRS now. So Luca Gray from P4, will he go to P2? I think potentially. Jack Nicholls now in P2. And Luca Gray in P3 with Tom Ely P4. Ooh, small mistake from Luca Gray. And Loic Millet just checked out. He really checked out.
3.1 seconds, but Jack Nicholls, I'm sure, would love to try and chase that down. He's yet to win so far this season, is Jack Nicholls. A couple of podiums to his name in San Marino.
Oh, Toby Davis spins!
It's Toby Davis in the other Kings Racing car, around and round and into the wall. He goes out of the points as well, surely. Tries to get back onto the circuit, has to watch everyone and their dog go by. 21st position for Toby Davis. We're trying to quickly get the replay up. Here is what happened to Jack Nicholls' teammate Toby Davis. Gets hooked on the curb, I think, maybe. I think just waiting for this incident to happen. Oh no, he made contact with the car ahead. And that's not really Toby Davis' fault.
No, true, but he loses a lot of time, so yeah, it takes him out of the picture. So let's see. It's now Jack Nicholls P2, Luca Gray P3, Tom Ely still P4, but Roy Seifert now really close for P5, and Seva Panasenko in P6. And Mikael Tomal in P7. Oh, they're all fighting for it, and Jack Mayer is there in P8. Silent, but he will be having a very good round if he can get another top 8 position. And maybe more. He already passed Luke Mitchell.
This is what Jack Mayer does, isn't it? He sort of
but look at Roy Seifert. Roy Seifert will go for P4 because he will have DRS. So we go for the inside of P4 at Tom Ely. And Roy Seifert wants to make a real impression. And now both of the cars are P3 and P4. So that's a very, very good run from the Spark team at the moment.
This is what Jack Mayer does, just sort of, I mean, he looked a little bit, not off in qualifying, would be unfair to him, but he wasn't up there at the very front, was he? And then just manages to somehow recover to third and now fighting in 8th. And that's been the story of his season for sure. Just consistent finishes is why he now is at the top of the championship and extending that gap. Someone's plummeting down the order, but who is it? It's Mark McNaughton. Oh no, Toby Davis straight into him as well, just didn't see the yellow flags, and that, I believe, is going to be Mark McNaughton out of this race almost certainly. Here is what's happened. Optimal trying to thank Maxime on the top of their halo, and McNaughton, but initially tried to get back onto the circuit on board with Toby Davis. Look at how late actually he sees that car, and it wasn't really again something that Toby Davis had much say in. He just saw the car late and then the car stepped out on him, and that was unfortunately how all she wrote.
Oh, and it's rush hour here from P5 to P7. It's Tom Ely and Seva Panasenko. Oh, Mikael Tomala is in there as well. Jack Mayer is in there. They're all in the same fight for P5. And now it's, I think, Seva Panasenko who's got the DRS and will have more speed on Tom Ely. Tom Ely is tumbling down the order, unfortunately. And they now all want to eat Tom Ely alive. But yeah, only one per corner. No, Mika Tomala wants to move as well. So Tom Ely now from P5 up to P7. And Seva Panasenko now in P5.
Still lurking there is Jack Mayer, trying to get up into a better position, though I doesn't really need to. It's not a pressing issue for Jack Mayer here. His main concern will be Luke Mitchell pressuring him just behind there in 9th. But other than that, it's been a pretty good round and just needs to consolidate now. Loic Mounier, meanwhile, absolutely, as we mentioned earlier, checked out in this race. 4.3 seconds to Jack Nicholls behind. As for the rest of the field, it's still close all the way throughout as you head through Sector 2 and Sector 3. Not too many movements going on. There is a slight dive from one of the Academy cars. It's Van der Smissen able to make a move on the other row in GP. I believe that's Alex Lahoe, the winner of race 1, not really able to make much progress in race 2. Justin Van der Smissen able to get through on him now.
Oh, look at Gray crashes from
Luca
P3.
Gray's going to crash
Oh, no.
from P3, all on his own as well. What it looks like from the initial angle, out boom curve. I don't think a crash like that would be resultant from some damage, but out of P3, that was Seifert into third on debut as well. Panasenko with a slight opportunity of getting a podium from his position that he's currently in, but still a total battle going on here for first and foremost 6th position. Jack Mayer able to get into 6th position at the moment. Here's Justin Van der Smissen trying to try his hand at getting through. Alex Lahoe lurking as well on the Academy driver. There's a move from Luke Mitchell. He's going to try and get through on Tom Ely down into turn 1, down the inside. Luke Mitchell goes. Luke Mitchell able to get that move. Ruben Machete unable to follow him through, and now Lahoe's round, and oh dear! He's won the first race and he's without a rear wing in the second. He falls all the way down into 17th position. It will be even more as he has to trundle back to the pits without a rear wing. Here's what happened in the Luca Gray incident as he headed up to Spoon. You can see, I assume he's just going to lock up here. It's all on his own. It was
the curb.
right, losing the car. Bottomed out on the curb, straight off of the circuit. No damage, but out of contention.
And what happened with Alex Lou? Because Alex Lou is now out. Did he get rear-ended by Van der Smissen, or did he lose it on his own? What happened there?
Well, here's exactly what happened down into turn 1, and it was just tapped again.
It's just Van der Smissen who just turns in. He just turns in, and yeah, and Alex buff. It's done. Ooh, Justin. But that was, of course, not an incident you want to see. Yeah, and he just turned in, but it's, of course, it's difficult, man.
Well, 6 laps to go at the line. Yeah. Davies, McNaughton and Vivian Truvik, all the DNFs from this race, as well as Alex Lahoe joining that club on the previous lap, as well as Scott Morris. Not a day to remember for Scott Morris from his perspective. Here is Jack Mayer trying to go around the outside of Makael Turomala. Is superb, attempted to move, not quite able to find it. Turomala holds firm, but Mayer's going to get all of the overspeed on the exit. He'll have DRS to boot as well, so will Turomala, mind you, but Mayer with all of the overspeed is forced to the outside, just trying to hold firm on that inside is essentially everyone's strategy here down into turn 1, but Mayer's going to have all of the straight line speed, all of the speed through the corner as well on that outside line, and able to chop across of Turomala at the earliest possible opportunity up into 5th position. An incredible drive from Jack Mayer at the moment.
Yeah, that's quite an incredible drive from Jack Mayer there. He now is in P5. Will he go to the podium, or will Roy Seifert stay in that 3rd position? And what about Seva Panasenko? He will, of course, would love to have that 4th position, but yeah, he's not there. And they're saying, well, Mikael Tomala made a mistake. I think he made a huge mistake, because Luke Mitchell has passed. I think maybe his throttle was stuck or something, because he lost a lot of time there, or maybe he lost it in Degner too. Let's see what happens there. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe something fell off his desk or something in his gaming room. You never know. So it was strange what happened there. But yeah, Luke Mitchell now is in P6. And Mika Sabala now seems to be up to speed, but actually now out of DRS of Luke Mitchell. So costed him quite a bit.
Frustration as well as Luke Mitchell tries to catch back up to Jack Mayer. They've been going through the field together throughout this race. Here's Justin Van der Smissen trying to go around the outside into the chicane. Just gets edged out on that opportunity by Luca Gray, who's driving with a little bit of anger now, trying to get himself back into contention. Of course, it won't be the lofty heights of the podium that he seemed to have set. There's forward, looking forward. Stephen Lexo with a move on 2-0 Marlett, down into turn 1 as easy as you like. Both cars isolated, and that allows Lexo with a DRS. Josh Downard has been passed by one of the Alfa Sierra cars. That's Massimiliano Riboli, also trying to recover back into a podium position, and Downard back into 15th position. Sounds like we've lost Menno for a moment again, but Seba Panasenko in 4th position at the moment, eyeing up that podium. Seifert just ahead, of course. Seifert eyeing up a chance for a maiden podium here on debut in this championship. And it's going to be Panasenko trying to foil his day as best he can. There has been some yellow flags, and it looks like Florian Hasse is out of the race. That was a very decent position as well. It promotes Massimiliano Riboli up into 4th position.
He did more or less of an assassination attempt on John Dix, and there Hasse crashes out. But Riboli really braked later than late. That was not the cleanest move I've ever saw.
As now, here is the move. It's going to be Panasenko really now pressuring Seifert. He's going to go for it into the chicane. Down the inside he goes. Panasenko trying to spoil Seifert's day, is going to spoil his momentum as they head through the chicane. Here's Jack Mayer trying to capitalise on anything that happens between the two of them. And now it's going to be Panasenko to the outside. He's going to be able to get the overspeed. Mayer's going to try and thread the needle through the middle. Jack Mayer down the inside is going to get the move into 3rd position on his own. He threads the needle through the middle, does Jack Mayer, and he gets into 3rd position. But Panasenko still trying to get Jack Mayer just around the outside. Able to hold on, and there's contact, and Panasenko's round, and Jack Mayer just about holds on to the position.
And Saver loses a lot of time. He loses so many positions, Saver, but he went for it. He knew this is my shot for the podium, and yeah, there it went. And it was so unlucky. But Jack Mayer is now in P3, which is great for the championship. But of course, Roy Seibert is still there. Well, what a move! They were alongside for so long, and just a small touch, the smallest of touches, and then he loses it. But still, he can score some points, hopefully, and yeah. Look how close Roy Seibert was, and look how close Jack Mayer was in, crashing out as well. But Roy Seibert is still there, and Luke Mitchell is also still there. He wants that podium as well, but yeah, Roy Seibert is battling very, very hard.
Well, not the fairy tale ending as yet that he was hoping for, but still a couple of chapters left in this one. As Stephen Lexo now trying to make a move. It's going to be an absolute sandwich here. Mitchell down the inside. He gets the move, and he's going to get into 4th position, and then there's going to be Lexo around the outside. Just gets tapped and is unable to squeeze on through there. Stephen Lexo, not necessarily impatient, just being forced into having to make the move, and it just loses him time. In the end, he stays in 6th position, rather frustratingly, but has a real opportunity to get into 5th now. Stephen Lexo is driving a very quietly good race. Here's Patterson to the inside of of Tom Ely, and he's able to get that move.
Yes, well, we're already quite far into the race, and we didn't talk much about Loic Meunier, but he's got nearly a 6-second lead, and is just cruising to victory at this moment in time. Let's see if we actually can get it. That would have been a great weekend for their own GP cars. Although the crash from Alex Lehoux in race 2 is of course not something you wanted to see, but they will still leave with loads of points in this round. So Meunier has got it all in his own hands, and Jack Nichols in P2, so he will be very happy with that amount of points if he can get it in. And Jack Mayer in P3, but Luke Mitchell is pretty close, and I think Luke Mitchell knows that he needs to pass Jack Mayer if he wants to actually have a decent chance in this championship, because Jack Mayer is quite a bit of points ahead, and it will be very, very difficult. So he needs to do something, sooner rather than later. But he seems to be pretty quick. So maybe there is something possible.
He's going to try it on this occasion. Is Luke Mitchell. Just a little bit of a slide out of that final corner. These cars running very low downforce, it appears. But now with the DRS, I don't think he's going to be close enough on this lap. He's certainly not close enough for Jack Mayer to contemplate going defensive down into turn 1. Oh, now he is. And that is a rather a stark change in line from Jack Mayer. Mitchell still stays behind. We'll have to wait till the next lap. Here goes Luca Gray down the inside on Josh Downard this time for 10th position. Lexo gets through on Seifert in the meantime. Gray down the inside, can't quite find the base, and they make contact and just goes all the way wide as Downard. That allows Van der Smissen through it. Oh no! Is that Panasenko again with more contact? And my word, Downard just spinning out into the wall. That has actually ended about as horrifically as that could have for him.
Yeah, so now Sefa hit both the TOP esports cars, but yeah, what a race for Sefa now, and a bit unlucky for Sefa, because I think he already was alongside, and then just down at rejoined the track, so it was a bit on his blind spot as well. So a bit unlucky, but yeah, that's sometimes what happens.
Sometimes what happens indeed. It's just the way it goes in this game. Occasionally, Loic Mounier, though, about to start his final lap of the race. Jack Mayer's going to try and hold off Luke Mitchell for a double podium here. Jack Mayer, I've said this before, and he just seems to be so... he just seems to be so consistent, and it hasn't been so often this season that he's put in these incredible drives like this one. But finally does it. And another person I want to draw your attention to as we wait, actually, I'll just let Mitchell, before I make this point, try his hand at one final opportunity on Jack Mayer, who's weaving. All allowed in the rules. One move across the track. It looks like Luke Mitchell, though, down into turn 1 is just going to be a little bit too far back once more. And that gives Mayer one hand on the podium. And perhaps with Mitchell almost spinning, perhaps one hand on the championship trophy as well, as it will be so difficult without DNFs for Mitchell or even Machete to get back here. But back to my point about Nichols and Mayer, particularly Nichols, actually, he seems to just all the time he doesn't have pace in a race. You can guarantee he's going to finish second in the feature race, or in the sprint race, I should say, or at least get a podium.
Yeah, Luke Mitchell just did some old school Tokyo drifting there into the first in a second corner. But will he pass Jack Mayer, or will Jack Mayer get that podium there? We shall see. Will be very close. But what is not close is the lead and P2. That's quite a big gap, and Loic Mounier will make it 2 wins on this evening for Rowan GP there. Rowan GP will massively increase their points tally, and they will just jump up the standings, so will be very good. But also very good for Loic Mounier, who will score a maximum 20 points. This race he's got a few corners to go. There he is. He's just taking it easy but steady, and there he is. Loic Mounier wins race 2 here at Suzuka, which he did great. 20 points for Loic Mounier. And then Jack Nichols, another podium for Jack Nichols. P2 with Jack Mayer holding on through P3. Luke Mitchell P4. Steve Alexo a good P5. Royce Seifert a very decent P6. Mika Samala a decent P7. With Craig Patterson points in race 2. P8. Tomili P9. He fought really hard. And Justin van der Smissen now P10. Seva Panasenko P11. Luca Gray P12. Massimiliano Riboli P13. Jordan Dix P14. And just Downer just steals the point away from Maxime Beaulieu. And Maxime Beaulieu will not be racing at the final 2 rounds this season. He's got a special halo for his which said thank you Maxime. And he didn't score any points, but thank you Maxime for being here this season. Hopefully we see you back next season. Actually, here it says thank you Maxime, so great for Maxime that he raced. And then we're going for the rest of the finishers: Tommy Koivunen, Johannes Lepid, Lilian Hilliere, Caitlin Penny, Ruven Machede, only P21st. And let's see, Luca Tisano in P22. Over to you, Tom.
Well, it is Loic Mounier who gets the victory here in Suzuka for race 2. A superb drive from him. Dominance personified from Loic Mounier. Jack Nicholls finishes in second position. Another very good drive from the King's Racing man. Jack Mayer finishes in third position, extends his championship lead even more with Luke Mitchell finishing in fourth position. Stephen Lexshow finishes in fifth. Roy Seifert in 6th with Michael Tuamala in 7th. Craig Patterson finishes 8th with Tom Ely in 9th and Justin van der Smischen finishing 10th for GPVWC Academy. Seva Panasenko, or Seva Pancake as Menno likes to call him, finishes in 11th position with Luca Gray finishing in 12th. Massimiliano Riboli finishes in 13th. A good recovery from him, all things considered. Jorn Dix finishes in 14th with Josh Downard in 15th. Maxime Bielu finishes in 16th. And Tommy Gouvian in 17th. Johannes Lepitz finishes 18th. Lillian Herret and Caitlin Penny round out the top 20. As for the rest of the grid, it's unfortunately only one more finisher, and that's the ill-fated Ruven Machede finishing in 21st, and Tazano, Hassan, Leho, Morris, Davies, McNaughton and Vishen Tuvik all failing to finish this race. And with that, unfortunately, I've got some stuff to do, so I will see you on the 11th of October for the next race. But I'm going to say thank you very much to Menno for joining me, and he'll be taking you through the interviews post-race for this one. But thank you very much for having me, Menno, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that will be, of course, very good. So let's go for the interviews. I'm actually looking who now actually already joined. Yeah, let me see. Let me drag somebody in, and the first one who we are dragging in will be Stephen Lexo. Hello, Stephen.
Good morning.
Good morning, actually. Well, yeah, I believe in Japan it might still be morning, or so that's very good. Well, tell us about your races, Stephen. I think it was intense, also from your part, with the especially race 1. I think you did great at defending. How did you see both races, starting off with race 1?
Well, first off, I'm so happy to finally have a normal event since Bahrain. So it's the second for me this year, so it's very special, and it's on my favorite track. So yeah, really nice. And yeah, I didn't get the quali lap together, unfortunately. But yeah, Luke's lap time was really strong, so congrats to him there on the pole lap. And yeah, in the first race, I knew that we had quite a good top speed. So when I was behind him in the first couple of laps, I saw that he couldn't pull away. And on lap 2 or 3, I think it was lap 2, I saw that I gained like half a second on the straights. And I was just, if I had DRS on lap 2, I would have got him. But yeah, unfortunately, the setup was a bit too heavy on the tires this time, so we fell off to the end, both Ruven and myself. Tried everything to defend from Alex, but he's done a brilliant move around the outside of turn 1, so GG's there. It's been a lot of fun. So compared to the beginning of the season, Alex has done a really great step in terms of the fighting, also for race 2, which I'm coming to now. Yeah, very, very difficult not to run into the car in front. The pace was very slow. So yeah, very civilized from everybody. And yeah, I just tried to survive, and yeah, didn't have enough laps at the end to get Jack and Luke. But yeah, still, I'm very happy with this result.
That's very good to hear. 2 rounds left. Mexico and Brazil. What's your favorite, and what do you expect from those rounds?
Well, definitely Brazil. I haven't done any Mexico League races in rFactor 2 before, but usually on the F1 games I'm very, very slow around Mexico, so I hope that it won't be the same in rFactor 2. as well, these cars are just painfully slow in the straight line, so the start-finish straight is gonna be a nightmare. That's for sure. As well with the slipstream, I think, yeah, especially race 2 will be quite intense on that start-finish straight.
Okay. And one more question. You're quite close match between you and your team, Red Fan and Alpha Shera Sim Racing. Do you think will it be even more intense, or what do you think of that battle? Can you tell us?
Well, yeah, it's very, very close, which is really nice, I guess, for the spectators, but also for us, very intense. The fighting with them, apart from one oopsie in Spa from Luke, has been really nice between the two teams. We've always had great fights throughout the whole season from race 1 onwards. So yeah, I expect it to be fair for the rest of the race, for the rest of the season, as we want to keep it on track. We want to keep it fair. We all do it for the fun. So yeah, also very unlucky today for Ruven in race 2. Had a collision with Jack, which cost us quite a few points in the constructors, but yeah, we can do it. That's for sure.
Okay, now very very good to hear that, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Very best of luck for next round, and yeah, until we meet again, Stephen. Thanks for being there.
Yeah, well, we meet at least in at least in FS1 and Super League. I don't know if I'm gonna do all 4 events like last week, like last event, but yeah, I'll be at the racetrack again in 2 days.
Yeah, very good. Hope to see you then. Bye bye, Stephen. Thanks.
Bye bye.
So that was Stephen Exo. So look who we get now. Look, yeah, and the one we get now should be Alex Lehoux. So I drag him in. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Menno.
So you're the race 1 master. Can you take us through qualifying race 1 and also a little bit what happened into race 2, and just tell us why are you so fast out of a sudden? I mean, that sounds like that I'm complaining about something, but your recent form is really good, and really good. Can you tell us what did change the last couple of weeks? Because you're really on it. Everything you touched in race 1 seems to change a bit into gold. Can you tell us a bit about the races, but also about why your pace is so quick?
So, well, hi, Szymon as well. So first off, race 1. I managed to find a setup that has the perfect combination between tire wear and rotation. And since oversteer is my driving style, I just have to practice, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I'm used to the car and all. The setup wasn't very, how to say it? It wasn't very hard to follow in dirty air compared to Steven, which I think struggled a little bit. But yeah, straight line speed, I lacked of it in race 2 because I think people changed their wings to make sure that they are not going to be overtaken up on 130R. But yeah, I kept the same setup for both races, which I think wasn't smart, but I didn't want to screw my setup like I did at Spa. And pretty much just practice and get used to the car, braking zones, etc.
Yeah. But yeah, so you had a great battle with Steven in race 1, which in the end you did a great overtake. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so basically after I overtook Luke, I was free to go to catch up to Steven. I think he had a few issues with understeer. He was starting to slow down on a few corners in which I was able to get a better exit speed, even in a dirty air sometimes. But yeah, I managed to attack him twice. I kept it safe on the first 2 occasions to see where I could exactly overtake. I picked my decision to go around the outside and have a go. We both left enough space for each other because I practiced overtaking in turn 1 just to avoid the crashing situation. But it was such a great fight between Steven and I loved it.
That's great to hear. So in 2 weeks we've got Mexico with Brazil after. What's your favorite track, and what do you expect from those rounds?
I don't expect much. I've never driven in Mexico in R Factor 2 at all, ever. I've only done it in Brazil, so in 4 weeks from now. I will see what's going to be possible to do with my driving and pace, and from now on, I will try my best and try to win race 1 again.
No, very good, very good, very good. So thanks, Alex, for being here. We're going for a few more interviews, so thanks for being here, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Alright, enjoy yourself, Menno. See ya, guys!
So the next one we're dragging in is our race 2 winner, Loic Meunier. Let's see if he is there. Hello, Loic.
Hello.
So a bit of a challenging race 1 with I think a small mistake, but then pole for race 2. Tell us how the races were today.
Well, yeah, what can I say? I didn't practice the race trim much. I did practice some racecraft, but couldn't have the time to be fully prepared for the event. Did my PVs in qualifying, which were the most important phase, and got off to a safe start in race 1 until I did a mistake, which sent me in a group of cars that ultimately gave incidents, partially my fault, but racing incidents nonetheless. So lost positions, lost time, and somehow I got gifted pole on race 2, so that was much more chill. Just had to control my tires and pace, and went me to my first win.
So I think this is not your first sim racing win, not at all. But how does it feel actually winning? I know you were a bit gifted with the reverse grid, but does it still feel like important that you can deliver that amount of points to your team? Is that mainly it, or is it just relief? Oh, I won here as well now. Or how do you look into that?
But I'm looking for my first win as Suzuka, because I never won this on any sim so far. But it's still a step, I would say. Race 2 means you didn't win from your qualifying position, which in my book is a bit less worthy, but still definitely something in this field. So I would take that. I would definitely take that and be happy about it. And hopefully I can win race 1 next time.
Yeah, next time we'll be in what is it, in Mexico. You ever driven there, or not yet?
Absolutely not. I think
Oh.
my last lap on this was F1 2019.
Okay. Yeah, I believe you're not the only one. So Mexico will be quite interesting in that. So Loic, actually, thanks for being here, and we hope to hear from you soon again here, and when you got a podium or even better. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for the race.
Yeah, thanks. And then we've got one more interview, and that is with the guy that I believe got podium in both races and is still the championship leader. It is Jack Mayer. Let's see if Jack Mayer is here.
Hello, hello.
So, Jack, great round, I would say, this round. And you are the man on the move. I saw a lot of interesting moves today from you, and I think very good points if you look at your points versus your two main rivals. Can you take us through the qualifying both races and some really interesting moves overtaking two drivers in the more or less the same time?
Yeah, I mean, there was no wins on like last round, but I would say it's probably the most successful round for a while this season for me. Beating both Reuven and Luke both races is really what we needed coming into the final 4 races. It is still close, and obviously we had the contact with Reuven, which is massively going to hinder his championship, but that's racing. I think we had a bit of contact out there today, but race 1, starting down in 6th, mainly that's all down to me really messing up my qualifying. I had a good half a second in the first lap I'd done, and I just failed to do it in the following lap, so it's really down to me for qualifying lower than I'd want to. But really just taking it clean race 1, we had people. I got a good start on Reuven, got past him. We had a little bit of a contact, but it was all clean, and then just waiting for people to make mistakes. I think Alex went off, Loic made a mistake, and yeah, before we knew it, we were chasing down the top 3. And final lap, really had a nice run on Luke. He was really down top speed. I think he was running higher wings for qualifying, and yeah, just had a little look to the inside, but went back to the outside and came off the brakes to hold it round. And it was really about the exit out final chicane. And I think I got a good run. He just spun the wheels a little bit and made contact. But Luke's a good guy to race, and I've never had an issue with him all year. And I think either of us deserved that, but it was really good sportsmanship for him to back out. And as for race 2, again, it was that matter of both Luke and Reuven were in front of me, and I just needed to stay with them. If they beat me, they beat me, but I can't afford to lose too many points to them. And thankfully, we got, I think it was Reuven, no, it was Luke off the line again. And just staying with Reuven. We made the move, I think it was into turn 2, and then went to hold it around his outside at turn 3, and I think there was just a bit of contact between the corners. And unfortunately, Reuven came worse off, but we've already spoken about it. Same with Saver. Both really good guys and clean drivers, and it happens in racing. You get contact, and sometimes you make it out, and sometimes you don't. But that's racing, and at the end of the day, we all have a lot of respect for each other. I think overall today was clean racing, legitimate racing. Some interesting things throughout the field, drivers lifting for other drivers for the championship, but hey ho, it happens. But we just do what we can in the final 2 rounds at Mexico and Brazil.
Yeah, well, it's very good to hear. 2 weeks, we've got Mexico. You have driven there before?
I think I remember doing pre-season test in the Super League lights, as it was back then, back in 2019. It's an all right track. It'll be interesting with these cars with the massive straight, and these cars aren't the best down the straights. But it'll be very interesting to see what kind of setups people go for here. And again, 2 rounds, 4 races. There's a lot to play for. I'm still lucky enough to have scored points in every round of the season, but that can very easily change. So the target is to just score points, and that should be enough to bring it home. But best wishes to Luke and Reuven. It's been a good championship fight so far, and I do believe they'll take it to the end as well.
Yeah, I believe so as well. So, Jack, thanks for being here. And now we're actually going to end this broadcast. We had 2 amazing races today in round 14 of this championship. Not long to go now. In 2 weeks' time, we will be there again for the Mexican round 15 of this Formula Sprint 2 championship. Of course, in this week, we still have the Formula Sprint 1 here in Suzuka, and next week, the Super Lights and the Super League championship. So for now, I thank you all for watching and for listening. I thank Szymon Frelik for the camera work, and until we meet again. Bye-bye.
bye.